I'm just trying to figure it out.
Good morning, fam. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, go ahead and subscribe. If you're coming back, thank you. Appreciate that. It's time for another Hot Choccy Chat.
Hot Choccy Chats. We're gonna chat and have some jockey.
Yeah, we are.
And it's hot. So hot. So hot.
Not hot chocolate, because it is very hot where I live. And you don't often drink hot chocolate. But anyway, welcome back to another Hot Choccy Chat. Today I thought, why not take you through the journey that was getting diagnosed with ADHD. Now this sort of started back in 2020. And I was definitely one of those people that saw the little, if you have this symptom, you've got ADHD in my little TikTok For You page. I saw those and I was like, hang on a minute, that does sound like me. And my whole life I have been on a mental health journey. My goal every single year is to learn more about myself, become more self-aware, and put in the work mentally. I really took a deep dive into the sort of things I was experiencing. And the symptoms for me that were very obvious were being really forgetful, like super forgetful. So I'd put something in the fridge that's meant to belong in the pantry and vice versa, and forget my car keys. I'd go to work of a morning, and regardless of how much time I took and like mentally checking off everything I needed to get myself out the door and to work, I'd still find I'd forget something. The biggest issue I found was that my mind would have constant noise. And by noise, I mean my internal self-talk was just all day long. And it wouldn't just be about one thing. I'd think something and then that thought would shoot off into another thought, and those thoughts would continue together and off they would shoot into other thoughts, and I'd have all this noise going on in my head. And a lot of the time it was quite negative, and I was kind of creating scenarios in my mind that hadn't happened yet that I was stressing about. I would just create all this internal stress from this noise. And with that, it became really difficult to then concentrate on everything happening in the real world. So I'd be at work, rather than going from A to B, start to finish, I'd go like this on all these side quests until I could finally complete something. I'd jump from tab to tab, email to email. I'd be doing two things at once and really not just concentrating on doing one thing, moving on to the next. And how I've managed to be in my job for so long, in the same profession for so long, and be mildly decent at it is beyond me, but it's been quite a task. The other thing that I really struggled with was wanting to do something, and I'd think about it and be like, hey, yoo-hoo, I want to do this. And my mind would be like, go on, do it, do it. You can do it, go on. And my body would be like, nah bud, not doing that. And then my brain would be like, oh man, I'm so overwhelmed that your body doesn't want to do the thing that my mind really wants to do. Let's just do nothing and stay here. I have a lot of goals, and I couldn't achieve any of them. There was just this huge mental barrier stopping me from actually carrying out the thing that I wanted to do. Perhaps a diagnosis of ADHD might fit what's happening to me. And the process itself seemed really daunting. I'd heard from others that it was really expensive, it took a really long time. After the situation where an event happened with my parents and we moved out into this house, I was really triggered by that event, and all my symptoms got way worse, way worse. And at the start of that year, I had given myself a goal of, I want to try and get a diagnosis within 12 months. And after this event happened and I was really struggling just in my day-to-day life, that was the push I needed. So I went and saw my GP, had the discussion with her, told her all the symptoms that I was experiencing, and she said, we'll write you up a referral letter. Along with that letter, she got me to write my symptoms, and she sent that on to the psychiatrist. It wasn't too much after that I got a phone call to go and see this psychiatrist. It was a female doctor. She was really lovely. She had good reviews online. What was there to lose? Except a lot of money, right? Because these specialist appointments aren't free. They're not covered under Medicare in Australia. You do get some back. I think it's just under half, but obviously that upfront cost is a lot of money. So the first appointment, I get there, we have a chat, we go through my background. It's an hour-long appointment. She gets to know me. She wants to know about my childhood. She wants to know how I'm doing today. She wants to know why I think I might have ADHD, and we have this big, long chat and discussion. So then she sends me away with a questionnaire and a referral to a cardiologist. Now, this isn't everyone's journey. My father had a heart attack when he was 37. And at the time I was going through this process, I was 36. So I let her know that, because that is obviously important if, in fact, I do get diagnosed and want to go down a medication route. I then go to a cardiologist. And again, it's a specialist. Not much is covered by Medicare. It's a very expensive appointment. Obviously took some time to get into the appointment, and that was fine. Everything was fine. The results got sent to my psychiatrist. Filled out the questionnaire and then went to my second appointment. And this all sort of happened over, I want to say maybe like a 10-month period between the GP and going to my second psychiatrist appointment. It was probably around a 10-month period. So we had a Zoom call, and I'm sitting in my car looking at my phone, and I've been waiting for this moment for like 10 months, but really my whole life. She goes through my questionnaire, she goes through what she thinks, and then she says, yes, you have combined ADHD. And what combined means is I have both inattentive and hyperactive. My inattentive is severe. My hyperactive is moderate to severe, and I have both. And I just immediately start crying. I start crying to this woman in my car, all alone, looking at my phone on a Zoom call. I'm crying. She says to me, how do you feel? And I said, I feel great, that I feel validated, that I'm not just being a drama queen and self-diagnosed on TikTok. It was like my whole life made sense. My childhood, the teenage years, everything from start to finish now completely makes sense. She then asks what we can do in terms of what route I wanted to go if I did want to go down the medicated route. I had read a lot, and I was really sort of on the fence about it. I had read really, really great things where medication had changed people's lives, but I'd also read a lot of stories where medication did not help and in fact made things worse. However, I chose to just dive right in. Now, I want to preface this by saying I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to give medical advice. This is just what I did for me. I decided to go down the medication route. She first gave me a script for Ritalin, 10 milligrams, short acting, to start in the morning, take another one at midday, and see how I go. And I was to do that for a week, and then I had a script to follow on from that of Ritalin, 30 milligrams. It took me a little while to start it. I was a bit scared, to be honest, because I don't like taking anything. I don't like being on medication. I don't like having to rely on something. But I'd come this far. It had been so long. It was nearly a year by the time I decided to finally bite the bullet, start the medication. It was actually a long weekend when I decided to start it. I didn't have the kids My partner was at home with me and we had, I think, 3 or 4 days off together. And I thought, perfect. Don't have the children. I've got someone here in case something goes wrong. Like, I was really worried. So I started the short acting. That particular day, I remember we didn't plan to go anywhere or do anything. We were just going to stay at home and see how I felt. And if there were any side effects, then we'd obviously be at home. We sat on the couch. We watched a movie, which was always really difficult for me to actually sit down and concentrate on one thing for like 2 hours. Probably within 30 minutes, the noise, my noisy little brain just went, and I was like, huh. I don't think I'd had that much silence up here my entire life, and it was very, very relaxing. I don't think I'd ever truly felt relaxed in a really long time. Even when I'd spend time relaxing, as in, you know, doing something really chill like watching a movie or reading a book, writing in my journal, colouring in, something that's meant to be relaxing, the little noisy brain would just be chattering away the whole time. It wouldn't be relaxing. It would still feel really intense and stressful. To then have this quiet day where I could concentrate, where I could sit still, lay down, watch a movie, not be like searching for something to do, was unreal. Life-changing. Definitely life-changing for me personally. Then was scared to go to the 30 milligram long acting. I tried to stay on the 10 milligram short acting twice a day for like a month. I just really wanted to get my body used to that before I moved on, rather than just doing that for a week and then moving on. I was taking it very slow. Oh, we have a cat. This is Toby. This is Nixon's cat. He hounded me for a very long time to get a cat. Took many months for me to say yes. And now I love him like he's my only little baby. So I wanted to take it really slow, moving on to the next dosage. I also then went back to work, medicated, and I was like, oh my God, I'm making moves like Johnny Wishbone. I was just fast. I was getting tasks done, A to B, A to B, A to B, A to B. Couldn't stop me. It's marvelous. I could get so much work done. And look, for reference, I only work part-time, but I do what is considered in my industry a full-time job in part-time hours. So the fact that I did that unmedicated before, good job me. Good job me. But now, I was really just reaching my potential. And then I started the 30 milligram, and it was even better. I had no side effects. I could sleep easily. In fact, I'd still be sleepy at 9 o'clock at night, sleep through the night, didn't feel funny in the morning. Everything was great. It's been great. I've been medicated now for about 10 months and it's absolutely changed everything for me. I then had subsequent follow-ups with my psychiatrist. She was really happy with everything. The first one, after being medicated, she asked me how I was finding it, and I again broke down in tears because it had literally changed my life. She was like, you deserve to feel this way. You deserve to feel like every day isn't a complete and utter battle. And she was really happy for me that the first medication and dosage that she prescribed was working beautifully for me. I really feel like I can achieve a lot too. Another result of being medicated is that my anxiety has just calmed down so much. I was so scared to leave my house that I could basically get myself to work, get the kids to school, and that was about it. Anything else was a real struggle for me. I just couldn't cope. I just assumed something bad would happen if I left the safety of those environments. And luckily, since being medicated, I don't have those awful thoughts telling me that bad stuff's going to happen all the time, and I can freely go and do things that I want to do, such as going and doing singing lessons, because that's just something I wanted to do for myself. And previous to being medicated, I'd be like, I really want to do that, but I can't. I'm too scared. That requires leaving the house. That requires meeting someone new. That requires doing something that I'm uncomfortable doing. But no, I was like, I want to do that. I'll go do that. And that feels really nice. Well, I guess that about sums it up. That was my experience in getting diagnosed, why I got diagnosed, and what I chose to do about it. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is just my journey, and I wanted to share it with you. I'm really happy, and I don't know how I've gone and lived this long without it, to be honest. It's been life-changing. Alright, well that's it for Hot Choccy Chats. If you like this video, click the like button, click the subscribe button, watch some more videos, hang around, stick it out with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.